In the beginning of the film, we are introduced to Finist, a strong and brave man, and his disciple Andy. Finist has come to the jungle with the task of capturing a giant wild pig that has been causing trouble for the villagers by destroying their crops. Even though the pig is huge and dangerous, Finist remains confident and fearless. He proudly tells Andy that he is a hero and wants to prove his strength by capturing the pig. Finist attacks the pig with his weapon, but it has no effect. Andy then uses his laser to help, and when the laser hits the pig's nose, the animal wakes up and becomes angry. The pig tries to attack Andy, but Finist steps in front of him to protect him. Finist tries all his strength to stop the pig, but the pig throws him into the air with a small force. Andy quickly throws a rope to Finist, which he grabs. The pig starts flying, and Finist ties the rope around its horns and wings to take control of it. He flies the pig over the village, and the villagers cheer for him, chanting his name. Among the crowd is a magician named Baba Yaga. She challenges Finist, saying that if he has so much strength, he should prove it. She tells him that there is a large stone in the river near her house, blocking the flow of water. If he removes the stone, she will recognize his talent. Finist is insulted by this request, feeling that he has already done something much more difficult, but he boasts about his previous achievements. Baba Yaga then says that she doesn't know how many of Finist's stories are true, which makes everyone laugh. Finist leaves angrily, frustrated that instead of being praised, he was ridiculed. Determined to regain his honor, Finist wants revenge. Andy suggests a way to regain his reputation. He tells Finist about a tower where a monster has captured a beautiful princess. If Finist defeats the monster and frees the princess, he will become famous all over the world. Finist decides to take on this challenge. That night, Finist and Andy head to the tower, where they find other warriors who have already attempted to defeat the monster. However, these warriors are only interested in the princess and the riches, not in the monster itself. They ask Finist who will get the princess if they all fight the monster together. Finist replies that he is not interested in the princess and decides to fight the monster alone. He sneaks into the tower through a window, determined to defeat the creature. Inside, Finist meets the beautiful princess, who immediately tells him that he has come to die. Finist assures her that he has come to save her. The princess runs away in fear, and Finist chases after her, grabbing her hand. As soon as he touches her, a snake suddenly attacks him. Finist fights the snake, but he soon realizes that it is not an ordinary snake. It is the tail of the monster he came to defeat. Finist attacks the monster with all his strength, but it seems to have no effect. Finally, he grabs the monster's tail and tries to tear it apart. The monster spits poison into Finist's eyes, blinding him. Despite being blinded, Finist does not give up. He finds his weapon and continues to attack, but the monster disappears. Finist starts breaking down the tower in frustration. The other warriors arrive, but they find only Finist in the tower, not the monster or the princess. When Andy discovers that Finist has lost his sight, he takes him home. Finist is filled with anger and frustration over his blindness. He decides to visit Baba Yaga for help. However, Baba Yaga refuses to assist him, stating that he never helped her before. Finist is heartbroken and feels more isolated as Andy also stops coming to visit him. Finist struggles to get by, doing simple tasks like buying fruit, but children often steal from him because he can't see. One day, Finist tells Andy in anger that he has no need for him anymore and that he should find another job. Andy leaves, and Finist's money eventually runs out. He is forced to eat rotten fruit from the market. One day, as Finist sits in the market with his empty basket, Baba Yaga passes by. She sees him and drops some food into his basket. Before they can talk, a group of robbers attacks the village, stealing from and hurting the villagers. Although Finist cannot see, he hears the robbers attacking and decides to fight them. Using his hearing, he takes on multiple robbers at once. One of the robbers tries to control him by throwing a rope, but Finist grabs it and pulls the robber off his horse. However, the robbers attack him from behind, and Finist loses consciousness. When he wakes up, Finist finds himself tied up on a ship along with Baba Yaga and the villagers. Andy arrives, free from the robbers, and explains that he had convinced the robbers to let him go by promising to help them. Andy is holding a golden lamp, and when he starts rubbing it, a genie emerges. The genie knocks the robbers down, and Andy asks the genie to return to the lamp. A robber takes the lamp from Andy, and the group is taken to Arabia, where they are sold as slaves. A masked man buys them and brings them to his palace, where they are amazed by the robots that serve him. The man reveals that he is a scientist who created these robots and other machines that help humans. Finist tells him his story, explaining that he was once strong but has been reduced to a poor, blind man. The scientist, having heard of Finist's bravery, offers to help him. He gives Finist a pair of special glasses that allow him to see again. The scientist explains that he has been using magic to extend his life and has created a machine to eliminate harmful magical powers. He demonstrates by rubbing the golden lamp again, releasing the genie, and using the machine to destroy it. Finist is impressed, but also troubled by the scientist's methods. Soon, the scientist learns of a dangerous monster in the nearby mountains. He tells Finist that the monster has the face of a lion and the eyes of a snake. Finist immediately recognizes it as the monster he fought earlier. The scientist insists that Finist stay out of danger, but Finist insists on joining him. The scientist shows him a machine that can capture the monster, and they set off on a plane to find it. They locate the monster's cave, and Finist enters, challenging the creature. The monster attacks, and Finist accidentally hits his head on a tree, knocking himself out. The monster emerges, but before it can harm Finist, Baba Yaga presses the lever of the machine, trapping the monster. As they head back to the scientist's palace, Finist hears a voice from the cage and decides to open it, despite Baba Yaga's warnings. To his surprise, the monster turns out to be a princess cursed to transform into a monster whenever someone holds her hand. Finist realizes that the princess is not evil, but is simply misunderstood. The princess explains that she has been forced to live in isolation because of her curse, but she does not harm anyone unless provoked. Baba Yaga tries to stop Finist, but he continues to be drawn to the princess. When the scientist learns of the princess's curse, he grows angry and orders his robots to capture them. Finist tries to save the princess, but in the process, he inadvertently triggers the curse and turns her into a monster. The princess breaks free and chaos ensues. The scientist becomes furious and tries to escape using his magic, but he is ultimately consumed by his own creations. In the end, Finist is left with a choice: to continue his quest for revenge or to embrace love and forgiveness. Despite his struggles, he finds peace and a renewed sense of purpose. Baba Yaga tells Finist that the curse on the princess can be broken, and they begin their next mission together. The film concludes with Finist and his companions preparing for their next adventure, as they seek a way to lift the princess's curse and bring balance to the world once again.